what we start with today is these CSV files. That's the first thing we do. Now, what happens is with the CSV file, it's giving us a platform from where we can actually access any particular file from the internet, these data files from the internet, which are all CSV based. And then we can utilize that data to connect to our data frame, and from there then utilize that for our work. Okay, so that's our purpose, and for doing so we learn how do we handle the CSV files along with the data frames. Like first step will be we learn how to transfer the CSV file to the data frames and with what all variations we can do that. Similarly, when I'm having a data frame ready and I want to send that data to the CSV file, then how do we do it? Okay. Now, first thing first, of course, we have to understand properly what a CSV file is. It's not a Excel file. It's not a Word file. It is not a image file. What exactly is a CSV file? Okay. It's a plain text file which has no formatting associated. That is something very important which you have to realize, that it has got no formatting associated with it. And the basic purpose is to store the data in a tabular fashion in terms of rows and columns in simple format, so that I can pick up the data and use it in Excel. As per Excel's formatting, I can use that data, and you see that we're going to use it for the data frame. We can import that data to various platforms very easily, because that file itself doesn't have a format of its own. We generally find that an Excel file cannot be transferred to a Word document. There's a problem. It is not letting us open an Excel file in Word. So similarly, this kind of an issue is not there. So that's why we say that this file doesn't have its own format as such. There's no formatting involved in it. It's a simple text file. Okay. And the data is separated with comma. Okay. That's why they are called as comma separated values. CSV. You should know the full form also. Comma separated values. Right? It can store numbers, it can store text, normal, whatever you're trying to store in a data frame, we have learned, you can store that data in the CSV file. Okay. We can use the CSV file to open in Excel or in Notepad. You can say right click to the file and open with it. It'll open in Excel if you want to open, or you want to open it in Notepad, it'll open in Notepad also. Okay. Now, when we create the CSV file from our data frames have our column labels, we have indexes. So a lot of variations we can do while creating the CSV files. Similarly, when I'm importing the CSV files to my data frames, then also I can do a lot of changes to that. I can stick to a particular set of columns. I can skip a few rows while I'm importing. I can change the column names, which is already there in the CSV, while I'm importing it into my data frames. A lot of things we can do. And we'll see all those aspects of it. Okay. Now, coming down to the basic look and feel of it, this is how it looks like. If I open a CSV file in the Notepad, this is how it's going to look. You can see INO, comma, INAME, comma, price, comma, quantity. So, comma, separated values. And then following that, we have the row-wise data. Technically, it's like INO is one column heading with 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 as the values of that column. INAME is another with ball pen, ink pen, rubber, scale, sketch pen. So if you see it in the form of tabular data, you can easily associate with it. Okay. So this is how the data is actually going to look like. In the Notepad, when I open, it's going to look like this. Opening in Excel, which also will make it look like this only. In Excel also, an XLS file and a CSV file. You can save the Excel file as a CSV format also, as an XLS format also, as a PDF also. You have these options in Office nowadays. So the same file, it look like an Excel icon, little difference in the icon. But when you open it, you will find that, or you see the property of it, you'll find that it is not an XLS file. It is actually a CSV file. Okay. Now, basic, it's very simple actually. The process is very simple until unless you do any variation to it. The process is very, very simple. I want to transfer my data from the CSV to a data frame. Exactly whatever is there in the CSV, please transfer the data into CSV. In the previous slide, I did show you a CSV file. This is how it is. It has got I number, name, price, and quantity as the headings, and the rest is the data. Now, if this is the file, I want to transfer this data to my data frame. So what are you doing? You're reading the CSV and transferring the data to this data frame, right? Reading the CSV, correct? So that is what we write. The command to do it actually is PD, that is a reference to your pandas, dot read CSV. Okay, read the CSV. From where do I read it? In the brackets of this read CSV function, you have to specify the name, the path and the name of the file. Okay. Now I download the file from the internet, put it onto my drive, and then I am directly giving the path to it. What you have to be careful about is when you are specifying the path, you have to give double slash to specify the various components of the path. So it's like D drive. For my machine, supposedly it's D drive, followed by 2 slashes, backslashes minded, it's not the front slash. Then it's the folder name, D underscore drive. I've given a folder name just to make you feel that it's not essential to have the data directly on the drive. It can be within some folders, subfolders also. So you specify the path accordingly. That is, go to D drive, go to D colon, the actual drive. Then within that, there's a folder called as D underscore drive. And within that, I have my CSV file stored. Okay. So this is the path given. And in this path, I'm asking him to go and pick up the CSV file from there and read it for me, transfer the data to the data frame. Direct, simple, one line. Read underscore CSV, pd.read underscore CSV. You have to import pandas before that because this function is associated with the pandas itself. So pd.read underscore CSV, and within the bracket, the entire path of the file name with the specification that the path, when you divide, has a double slash rather than a single slash. Make sure that mistake you don't do. Okay. This is the pandas method to read the CSV file. So if they ask you in objectives, what is the pandas method to read the CSV file? You say read underscore CSV. Fine. And this is the path with the file name. This is the file name item.csv, and this is the path. So from that CSV file, which I showed you in the previous slide, this is the data frame I am getting as per my command. Okay. One liner command to transfer the data. It's not something very difficult. Now the vice versa. I have my data frame and I want to send the data to the CSV file. Okay. Sorry. So I have my data frame created here. Usual import data, then I import pandas, then I make the dictionary. Then I go and do the data frame command to create my data frame. I specify the indexes while doing so. You all are very, very familiar with this. Ultimately, what do you have to say? Data frame to CSV. So the data to transfer, the function to transfer the data from data frame to CSV is to underscore CSV. It's very easy to remember also. CSV you want to create to underscore CSV. I want to read the data from CSV and make a data frame, read underscore CSV. Okay. The only difference is with read underscore CSV, you are activating the thing from the pd.read underscore CSV. And here it is. It's even more simpler here. df to CSV. So df dot to underscore CSV. The data frame name, whatever the data frame name is, dot to underscore CSV. And within bracket, the path from where, not from where, sorry, where you want to create the CSV. So here I have again given the same path, d colon D drive, and within that, the name of the file is specified along with the extension. Please do not forget to give the extension. Okay. So this way, I will transfer my data from the data frame to a CSV file if I want to. For my projects, we will be requiring the first method wherein we take the data from various sites in the CSV format, then transfer the data to the data frames, and then use it for our data analytics project.
So ma'am, we will use read data frame.
We will use the read
function.
Read CSV function more often than this one. Okay. Is it fine? Both the two basic commands are clear. Transferring data from CSV to data frame. So it's you're reading the CSV, pd.read_CSV. And the next is transferring data from data frame to CSV. Data frame, that is DF. Here the data frame name is DF, whatever data frame name is DF. Dot to_CSV. In both the cases, the path has to be given. In one case, he is creating the file, and the other case, he is reading from that location. The location has to be correct, path has to be correct, otherwise you'll get the error. So in my case, yeah.
Ma'am, will they give the path in the exam? Like, will they specify which path will be right in the exam?
Yeah, if you're asked to transfer the data like this, you'll be given the path also. Otherwise, you will write a path of your choice and say this is assumed.
And ma'am, what about the practical exams? Like, we will work on different computers in school, right?
Yes, you will work on different computers and give the practical exam.
Ma'am, so they will give which path to use in the exam?
You will work according to your machine where you're sitting. See, this code I had done when I was having a different laptop, and there the situation was that my D drive was the one where I was working. Now, if I try to do the same thing in this laptop, here I don't have a D drive, I have my G drive. If I show you, this is the G drive. Okay. And in the G drive, I want to transfer the data to my folder or some other folder I've kept, and I want to transfer the data. So I'll accordingly mark my path. So wherever you are sitting in the practical exam, according to your location, you have a E drive specified there extra, other than the C drive. You don't work with the C drive. You don't have the permission also. So you have some other drive available. Accordingly, you mention, make a folder of your own in that and do it. Okay. Like I'll show you a few with which we are working with the class 12 projects last year, like this COVID data. And I say, please open it with Excel. If I'm opening this with Excel, this is the kind of data. It's a CSV file opening in Excel. Okay. Simple. So in Excel, you cannot really make out the difference that, okay, this is a CSV file as such, unless you say save as and then try to see the type associated niche. Save as type. So it's actually a CSV file and not an Excel file. Okay. Otherwise, the look of the file is very similar. But if the same file I try to open with Notepad, you can make out easily that this is a comma separated value file. Okay. Values are separated by comma row wise. First line is taken as the header by default, and the rest of the values are the rows. Okay. So here, if I try to mention this path and try to do my work, it is going to be G drive, and within the G drive, directly the COVID file. If I'm referring to this, if I make a folder here and then try to access it, so it will be accordingly mentioned. Wherever you are sitting, you will mention. If you're doing it on your own machine at home, you will mention the path which is for your machine. The path will vary. Is it fine, Samyukta?
Yes,
others also, is it okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, path will depend upon on which machine you are doing the work. Okay, now we talk about few variations which we can do. This is like a screenshot of the whole thing. So this is my data frame, and I try to transfer it into a CSV, and after transferring the CSV, This is a look of the notepad file when I open that CSV in the notepad file. And this is a look of the file when I open it in the Excel. Okay. So the CSV file is compatible with Excel as well as notepad. It easily opens there and you can make the changes or work in that. Right? Now let's come down to some variations which we want to do. It's a comma separated file. Commas are there to separate the thing, but you have the option to change the separator also. So here we do the first variation. Now this example I added today. So you can see that now my path has changed because this is according to this machine. Okay. This was not something which I did in the last year, but I found that this particular NCRT book has it. So I thought that I will add this particular part. And while doing so, I did it on this particular laptop, and hence my path is changed. So what I've done here, simple creation of data frame up till here. You all are very aware. Now what I want, this data frame data should be transferred to a CSV file. What do? Data frame name I have created with df. So df.to_CSV. This is the path where I want to store my file. And what all I want to tell him, please use the separator as a dollar symbol. Any symbol you can use, @ comma is by default, @ colon, whatever symbol you want to give, that you give here. And I also added something which I can do, which I say header as false. Now header as false means the column headings is missing. Can you see that? What is missing? This names, marks, s_class, section. This is missing. Okay. So because I've done it just now here itself, I'll show it to you. Now see, I did initially the same issue. D drive I wrote. Then I realized, oh, that drive is not there with me on this laptop. So I changed it. So if you give a path which is not there, okay, or it's a path you're giving C drive where you don't have the permission, he'll give you the error saying that permission is denied. Okay. So let me just open that code for you, which I've just now done. This is it. Right. And now let me show you the whole thing without the separator and the header being false. This is it. Just a default setting. I create my data frame and I go and store it in the CSV by the name student. I save the file, run, and I say run module. Nothing is shown to me here because I've really not printed anything. There is no print statement. Can you see that? There is no print statement here. Not let me move the files. Yeah. Yes. So it will not give me any output. It's not giving because there's no print statement involved. Data frame creation, okay, he will do. Transfer to CSV, okay, he will do. But I don't want any output. I've not really given any statement for any output. So there's no output being shown. My prompt is back. Now, how do I check whether the work has been done or not? I need to go to my G drive and check out for the student.csv. Let us do that. This is my G drive, and here I go and check out for my student thing. Okay, you can see the file is created on 25th August 2021 at 1:13, and now the timing is 1:14, right? So now this file, if I keep the cursor, you can see the type being shown, Microsoft Excel, separated value file, size and date modified is being shown to you. Right click, you can say open with Excel, Notepad, WordPad. We generally use a Notepad or Excel for it. So if I open my Notepad file, the file has been created, you can see, with the headings. Why this comma is coming? Can somebody tell me? Why is this comma coming? Here's is the code. No, not this one. I don't want the PPT. I want the code. So here is the code. And here is my output. Can somebody tell me why is that comma coming?
Not for the index.
Yes, there's no heading for the index. Correct. You know, index comes just like that, no? As an extra column, but without a heading. So
Yes.
that is what he has picked up. Okay, that is why this extra comma is coming. But when I try to open and check out the same thing in the Excel, because it will be a column separately shown to me, so it will not come like a extra comma being shown to you. See, so this column will not have any heading, and the rest of the headings are coming, the indexes are coming, and the data is also coming. Okay, so this is a default setup. That is when I don't specify any option to him. Oh, I don't want to say that. When I don't give any option to him, he is doing that. Now I change and I say, please make my separator as ampersand symbol. Anything of my choice. I save and I run. Separator will not be shown to me if I open the file in Excel, but if I open the file in Notepad, then the separator is visible to me. So I open and I show it in Notepad. Can you see that the separator has changed? Instead of comma, everywhere you can see the ampersand symbol.
Yes, ma'am.
Are the schools reopening now?
Yes.
नहीं मतलब स्कूल का आएगा personal information.
Achintya, why do you have to really come up with something out of track? If the school reopens, you will be asked to go to school. You want to go to school with the parents' permission, you'll go to school. You don't want to go to school, stay at home. What is the point of asking this question? How do I know? But unless some proper regulations or certain notice is not coming, even I am not aware of it. Okay, please concentrate on what we are doing. Whether in school or whether at home, you have to study. That's the most important thing. Okay, so you can see that these separators have been changed, right? So you can do that. One is this option. Second, what I can do is, I want to show you one more thing too, that the separator has been changed, but my header is the same. My headers are coming. Name, marks, s_class and section is coming. So if I make that small change in my code by saying, please do not give me my header also. I don't want my header. Header is equal to false. F capital. False is a Boolean value. F false and true. So F capital. So if I do this and then I save and execute my file, done. Let me kind of refresh. And here I go and open it. With Notepad, you can see that the headings line has been removed. Header has been removed. Okay. So the way you want to do, the way the question is being asked, that needs to be done. Right? So this is a basic variation which we have to remember when we are converting the data from the data frame to the CSV. Only these two variations are being done. The variations are little more when we do the vice versa case. That is, I want to read my CSV and I want to create my data frame, and while doing so, what all things can I do? What all changes can I do to my data? There are about 3 to 4 cases which we need to refer to, and they're basically some or the other extra this thing option, okay, which we have to really refer to that one. Okay, so the first thing is, I'm not showing the previous code and all, the actual code of that you've downloaded the file. So we assume that the file is there with you. Like here the file is item.csv, and somewhat the data is like this: I number, I name, price and quantity. These are the I number, these are the I name, price and quantity. Right? Now that CSV file data, now I'm trying to read into my data frame. With what option? With my header as none. So please do not include my header. Okay. If you ask him not include my header, what it actually does is, he will take that header line and put it as a row in the data frame. Okay. When you say header as none, in that case, he will pick up that header line and use it as one of the rows, not use it as a header. You can see the 0th row is INO, I name, price and quantity. If you need it like this, you will use it. Otherwise, you will not use it. Okay. By default, the headers are picked up and used in the data frame. But there are 2 things what you can do. That is, You might not need it. So you say header none. That line is picked up as a part of the data frame itself. Otherwise, you can specify also which particular row number you want as the heading. So there's a note which says, by default, header is 0. Means the 0th row of that data frame, of that CSV, will be considered as the headings. Okay, so if I don't give anything, I've shown you earlier also that the first line becomes the heading, normal, which is there in the CSV. But if you do not want that, you want a particular row from your CSV to be as your header, then mention the row number, assuming that the row starts from 0. Okay, so by default header is 0, hence it picks up the first row as heading. We can give any row number to be picked as a header, or as we call it, the column names for our data frame. Any row can be picked. If I want this to be picked up, 3, 12, rubber, 5, 40, this also can become the header. That is a column labels. Whether relevant or not, that I'm not really talking about. As per your data, that might be relevant. But here it is not relevant because these are contents. They will not be looking good with the as headings. But you can do that. Okay. So heading none means everything is my data. Even the first line is my data. Header is also my data. But header is equal to 0. Normal headings will apply. Any particular specific row you want to make as the heading, you can do that by specifying header is equal to and that row number. That's the first variation. That is changing of the heading. How can I change the heading basically? Next comes that which column you want him to behave as the index. You have a CSV file, different things are there. Like here I have INO, INAME, price and quantity. Supposingly, I want to make my INAME as the index when I create my data frame. So you can do that by using this attribute of the read underscore CSV function, index underscore column is equal to the column number. Read CSV's first part is same, the path and the file name. Another attribute we are talking about here is index underscore column. The name itself is pretty understood. Which column you want to make as the index. By default it is 0. Hence the first line is picked up as the index, which is your I number in this case. But here if I want to change it, I can do that and specify a different column also. Like here I said index column is equal to 1. Right? When I say 1, which one will become my indexes? The I name. The column name also remains. So there's this extra line added. You can see this. There's an extra line added. This is not really considered because this becomes part of your data frame with I name as my indexes. These are my indexes, that is the row labels, and the rest of the 3 columns becomes my content. Any particular column, depending upon your data, you can convert that into.
Mine shows pandas has no attribute read underscore CSVCS.
Have you written it correctly? Okay, share. Wait.
Yes.
Sure.
Ma'am.
Share. Let's check. CSV, you have written capital CSV. It's small CSV. Write it again, copy paste and write it again. Do you have a D drive with D space drive as a folder name and all that? Anyway, the change the CSV first of all. At least the error will change. Then you'll have a different error. No. Small CSV. Babu, not that. The command itself. Read underscore CSV where you have written that CSV is small CSV. Yeah, this one. Read underscore CSV. Yeah. Okay. Now the error is changed. What's the error? No such file or directory exists. You don't have a D drive or you don't have a D drive under a D drive folder and you don't have item.
Ma'am, where is D drive folder?
Where did I show you? Okay, open this, stop the share. I'll show you.
Okay, ma'am.
See, in my case, yeah. I guess this one.
Ma'am, will we be doing the practical right now?
Yeah, I'll show it to you. How to
Okay.
do that. See, so what exactly my work is, I go to my Explorer, my Systems Explorer folders, and then I see what drives do I have. Sorry, I've not shared the screen yet. Wait. This is what I shared. Okay, this is not the one I want to show. So this is, I open my folder. Okay, my Explorer, as we call it, Windows Explorer. So here I see I have a C drive, I have a G drive. Correct? Similarly, you go and check what drives do you have. Now here I make a folder by the name CSV data or data CSV. Data CSV. Okay. And then I try to store my CSV in that. Now I think this is a downloaded file. Wait. This was for one of the projects. Yeah. It's about the crime deaths. Different crimes occurred in various years from 2014 to 2019. There's a CSV file downloaded from the internet, but then modified also. It was being used by one of the students last year. That's a modified file. So supposingly I take this CSV file and store it in my this folder. Okay. So what is the path of this file? What is the path of this file? G:\\data
G
CSV.
drive.
Yeah, G drive:\data CSV. Within that, you have woman.csv. Now, this is the file I want to access. Let me show it to you then. This is the file I want to access and create my data frame. Okay. Have you understood the way you are going to check out with your files, with your drive? Where is my drive and which is my folder in which I'm working, where I'm storing my CSV file? You will download the CSV file and you can keep it directly in your drive. You can make a folder and put it there. That's completely your wish. How do you want to handle it? Okay. Now I go to this and I say import pandas. Of course, that is a basic thing. Okay. Then what I have to do, I have my CSV ready. I want to create my data frame. So I'm saying df is equal to td dot read underscore CSV brackets open. Okay. See, so many things you can give in this function. Looks so crazy. Okay. So I give the path now. Where is my CSV file? My CSV file is in G drive, colon, double slash. When you saw the path here, it was a single slash. So technically it is a single slash. G drive ka root and root ke andar the data CSV. But when you put it here, you will be putting a double slash, not a single slash, mind it. Okay. Followed by the name of the file and the extension. Okay. You should read the CSV file, put the data in the data frame with the default settings. I'm not really putting any options for him. And then I ask him to print it. Let us check this out. Okay, so this is like read CSV. Okay, let's do it. Run. What mistake did I do?
Ma'am, you did not create the data frame.
Data frame.
Did
He
not
will
name
create
the
for me.
data frame because
Achha.
He
this is the
is
last one.
check the error.
file.
Check the error being shown
No
to you.
such file exists.
No such
Actually,
file exists. Is
आपने
the
वो
path
name
correct?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, there may be a mistake in the capital letters, something
Yes,
like
ma'am.
that.
No. Check the path. The file
नहीं
is in
वो
front
तो
of you.
small letters में आना था ना वैसे भी.
Check the path. What is the path?
Path is wrong.
Ma'am, path is
wrong.
correct.
It is G drive. Within that, there's this folder data CSV. It's not directly in the G drive. So the folder is not mentioned to him. G drive doesn't have that. It's G drive ke andar the data CSV file, a folder. Within that, the file is there. That was a mistake. See, you're automatically picking up also. If you keep the cursor there, it's picking up also. I didn't want him to. I mean, you could have picked up from there, but it takes time, extracting. Have you got my point? So this is the drive. This is the folder. If I would have directly stored my file in the G drive, then I wouldn't have required this folder. But if you are using a folder, then you have to mention. Path means where do I go from the G drive to which folder, to which folder, to which folder, like that, to reach my file. Now when I execute, it should work, and this is my data frame created. What is the corresponding CSV? Let me open and keep it with front of you so that you can compare. This is the CSV file, and this is the data frame he has created for me. Check it.
Ma'am, I'm still not able to import mine.
Because you don't have any CSV file in your drive with us. Have you ever
Ma'am,
downloaded
like-
a CSV file?
Ma'am, from where we have to do that?
That I'll tell you. Now wait. That's what I'll tell you. Okay, I have a few downloaded because we have worked on it. You have not yet downloaded any file. Okay, you can create also. You can actually go and create. Let me show you how to create the file before we download it. Is it fine? Is this thing understood? Your path from where you're picking, you're storing, the path has to be very clear and correct.
Yes,
Okay,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Understood.
Yes, ma'am.
Otherwise, the thing is very clear. Crime. So crime is one heading. Then you have 2014, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Those are my headings. And this is my data. No index. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 default index is coming. That is the story. This is how it works. Now let us see that how do I create a CSV file. Fresh. Let me go to Notepad. Or let me go to Excel, because first time creating an Excel is actually easy. So let me go to Excel and I try to create a file which is what? Teacher table, suppose, teacher data, right? So Mount Carmel's teacher data. So let me have the TID, the T name, and the department. Let me have these two columns and let these TID be's or TID let me have as the index 100, 101, 102, 103. Okay, so I keep this as my index. Let me see whether he's able to pick it up for me or not. So I say this is how I pick it, and I create my data. And we have who? Narrator, comma. Okay. So this is my data. How do I save it? File, save as. I am going and saving it in my G drive itself, in the data CSV folder itself, and I name it as teacher, and I don't save it as Excel. Okay. I go and find the CSV UTF format 8. Right? Is it okay? You have to change the type. And I say save. Make a CSV file. Do it. So this is my CSV file.
मैम CSV फाइल सिर्फ Excel में बन सकता है?
Excel Notepad. I'll show you how
Okay,
to do
ma'am.
it in Notepad also. Currently do it in Excel. Excel is easier. Comma, you don't have to put.
Ma'am, we have to save it, no?
You have to save, but you have to save it with the changed file type.
Acha,
Ma'am,
ma'am.
can you show the Excel file?
Okay, just a second.
Ma'am, can you please show that process?
Yeah. Just a second. So this is my Excel. I will open the recently created file, which is this one. And he'll be asking all sorts of things. Okay, and he's converted into a comma separated file properly. So let me not open it like this. Let me go to this and I say open with Excel. Okay, so this is the file I created. Quickly create karo with 2 columns. Any file of your choice if you want. Just do it for your friends. You can make one or something. Anything of your choice, but do it. Once done, file, save as. Okay, specify the location. Like I want to do it in the data CSV folder itself. And from the save as type, don't forget to change. By default, Excel comes. I don't want Excel. I want this particular type, CSV UTF-8. I hope others are also doing. I can only see 4 people interacting. There are 13 people here. Rabbani, Muskan, Manas. Quietly. Are you also trying simultaneously? Please do it better. You will not remember. You will actually not remember. You know, these things are very small things and we make those mistakes again and again. If you can't do it, write down. Okay? Write it down. You might do it later. Just write down. Okay, so Excel, I make this thing and I save as. Then I don't forget to do the save as type. Just write it, save as type, and I mention this type. Change the Excel to CSV. And folder is like your wish, wherever you want to store. So you can see here, in my case, I'm storing in G drive, data CSV folder. You want to store it in your E, F, G, C, wherever you want to store, because you have permission for your C drive. Others will not have, but you have. Okay, so I saved it. Done. Can I close this? Samyukta, done? Samyukta, Lakshay,
Ma'am.
Sumit, done? Achintya, yeah.
Ma'am, ma'am, I tried. Ma'am, first I did not put the CSV, ma'am. Then I did it. Ma'am, it is saying the selected file does not support the workbooks that contain multiple sheets.
Which version of Excel are you?
Ma'am, 2007.
Okay, that's a good one. Okay, no problem. You go open your Excel and just delete
ma'am.
the extra sheets.
Okay, ma'am.
That's the only thing.
Okay, ma'am.
Which 2016, no, the latest versions now they're not giving the extra sheet. Earlier we used to have 3 Excel sheets by default.
Acha, okay, ma'am.
Okay, just let me show
Ma'am, I
it
have
to
to
you.
delete the sheet 2 and 3.
That's see. By default nowadays they have given only sheet 1 just to support these kind of things. In the latest version of Excel, not latest also, minus I think 2016 version. Okay, so you just delete the sheet 2, sheet 3 if you're getting this error, nothing else, and then
Okay,
save,
ma'am.
and then save. Done. Others have also done it. So I go to my code now. I keep the path same. I just change the name of my CSV file. Import pandas. df is equal to pd.read_csv. Now you have to find out the path yourself. That I can't do for you. Which drive, which folder, whether there is any folder or not, you're directly saving on the drive. But do remember to put the double backslash. Don't do that mistake. Okay. And then if it is done, I just simply print it as of now. And you can see that this has been created. There's one with a blank heading, unnamed, because I did not give any heading there. Okay, so these kind of things we have to handle it now later. I could have kept that TID and I could have said that, oh, please use the first column as my index. Then this problem wouldn't have been there. Now he has one unnamed column shown to me. Okay, but this is the default way it works. If I'm doing it from the Excel without any extra wisdom. If anybody has any issue, he can show it to me. I'm stopping my share and waiting for you to share. After this, we'll take a break of 5 minutes and then again we'll join back. But I want you to do it and show it to me.